What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be revealing the first batch of cards and reprints for the upcoming set Animation Chronicle 2023, or as we like to call it, Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, looking at this first card, honestly, I did not think that we would ever see these cards get printed. So if you guys have never heard of Animation Chronicle or what we call, the Battles of Legend sets, basically they're sets. Basically, these are sets that gives us cards from some of the different anime that we never thought would ever see the light of day, which includes in which over the years we've seen cards like Mathematician, the three legendary dragons, Critias, Heramos, Tamias, their fusions, excuse me, the Cyber Angels as well from the Dragons of Legend sets before we got Battles of Legend. Even also, oh that's right, I forgot today's Tuesday. I forgot today's Tuesday. That meant it means that the trash people are here. Anyway, even also YCS promos, as well as Jump promos as well, Worlds promos have have also been printed as well, such as number 89, Diablosis the Mind Hacker, as well as Minerva the Exalted Lightsworn. We've had so many cards from not just from the different tournaments, but also from different anime as well that have been printed over the years. This year will be no different because excuse me. I swear my uncle's dog needs to shut up. Guys, I apologize. My uncle's dog is basically like my uncle. That dog does not listen. Anyway, this year's set will be no different. But I'm very curious as to what other cards we could potentially see get printed in this set. Only time will tell. But before we get into today's video, guys, we are 37 subscribers away from 200. We are drawing closer and closer to the goal. And as I have said in previous videos, if this channel gets to 200 subs, I will open up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos. If the channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. And speaking of Collector Store, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners at Collector Store. Got it on the week of its release, actually 3 years ago. Never thought I would ever get the chance to open it up because this set is such a crazy set. I believe now the most expensive card now, I think, is Toon Black Lotus Soldier as a collector's rare is going for quite a bit. But if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, if you guys want more new card discussions in the future, maybe you guys want WWE topic videos, episodes of WWE's biggest issue, Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest issue, deck profiles, Maybe you guys want premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not done so already, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. So there are so let's see, we have 2, 3, 4, we have 4 new cards. 4 new cards plus 6 reprints that I'll be talking about in today's video. And there is quite a bit to talk about. So let's kick things off with Rex Raptor's new cards, and the first one is Kaitop which is a 4-star wind dino with 1400 attack, 1000 defense. The second and third effects are both once per turn. The first effect reads, if your opponent controls 2 or more non-wind face-up monsters, those monsters cannot target this card for attacks. So it basically protects itself from monsters from being destroyed by monsters who are not wind. Anybody who is wind can just power through the Kaitop, which is pretty cool. The second effect reads, during your main phase, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. So this is basically, I think, Fusion Sage, where it lets you add poly from the deck to the hand. So it's basically Fusion Sage, which is pretty cool. The third effect reads, if this card is banished, you can special summon it, then add 1 polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. So not only is this a protection, this is also a fusion sage mixed in with a DDR effect and a fusion recovery effect. And what I mean by that is fusion sage meaning I believe you get to add poly from the deck to the hand. DDR basically you're allowed to summon it from your banish pile, and then the fusion recovery, you add poly from the graveyard back to the hand, which is actually kind of cool. The only problem is that the only decks in the format now that are the only decks in the format that would not benefit from this Dino deck, especially if you're running Kaitop, is I think what Albaz decks, Runic decks perhaps. I think Kashtira potentially, but still, I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty good, but usually but for those who don't know, usually with these types of sets, you don't usually play these cards unless if you knew that they can be beneficial in the deck. Next up, we have Horned Saurus. Horned Saurus, which is a 6-star Dark Dino fusion with 2000 attack, 1800 defense, and requires Kaitop plus either a Dino or a Dragon, which is kind of cool. The first and third effects are both once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is fusion summoned, you can place 1 field spell from your deck or grave face up in your field zone. Okay, that's pretty cool. Second effect reads that it can attack directly the turn it's special summoned. That's actually pretty cool. That effect is a reference to the Battle City, because when you fusion summon monsters, those monsters are not allowed to attack. But this effect basically bypasses it, and you're allowed to just attack directly, which could potentially push you for game. it can potentially push you for a game, which is pretty cool. The third effect reads, during your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a dino or a dragon. I mean, not bad. I mean, you're basically double summoning, which is pretty cool. Again, the only problem, the only problem is that the only problem is that dino decks nowadays, we haven't seen dinos in the format and in quite some time. I think it's been since what, the Remote Duel tournament back in 2020. I think who was it? Team Sam? Yeah, I think Team Samurai X1 actually won that one if I remember correctly. And funny thing, he was running dinos, ironically enough. So again, these two cards, it's possible that it can come up. It can come up in the meta, but only time will tell. But this one, I am actually most excited for honestly, because we now have even more Dark World support, and in the form of probably one of the most insane cards I've ever seen, ever. It is known as Colorless Chaos King of Dark World, a 12-star Dark Fiend fusion with question mark attack and defense, and the only problem with this card is that if you're a Dark World player like me, it means that with a card like this, you would need to run the original Rainbow Overlord of Dark World. It is possible you can do like a King of the Swamp type of deal, but you do need Rainbow Overlord of Dark World, the original, but what's even more cool is that its 3 effects are absolutely nuts. So Colorless, again, requires Rainbow plus 2 or more Fiend monsters, and it does have 3 separate effects. The first effect reads, if this card is fusion summoned, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. So it's essentially a Raigeki Harpies Feather Duster. Excuse me. All rolled into one, which is actually kind of cool. The second effect reads, this card's original attack and defense become the number of fusion materials used for its summon times 1,000. So let's say you used Rainbow plus 4 other fiends. That's a total of 5k attack, which could potentially push you for game, which is pretty cool. The third effect reads, once per turn as a quick effect, you can target a face-up card you control, discard 1 card, and if you do, your opponent cannot target the targeted face-up card with card effects this turn. So what's cool about this is that if you have let's say for example, you have a synchro on board that can help you push for game. You discard a card, which could be any card. It could even be a Cerulea for all we know. That monster cannot be targeted by card effects, which is pretty cool. Which is actually kind of cool. The card can still be destroyed by card effects, but it can't be targeted, which it's okay. It's pretty decent, I will admit. The best part though is that it gives you access, especially if you discard a Cerulea, it'll help you even further break your opponent's boards, because you can summon Cerulea to your opponent's board, which is essentially a kaiju effect. Activate. Then the effect of Cerulea would trigger. You would discard Gold Woolor of Dark World, special summon in, pop 2 cards on your opponent's board, and their board is broken, which is actually pretty cool. I'm gonna have to see if there's a way that I can implement this card into my build once we get the new new Jack Atlas structure deck, because you guys know, if you guys saw that deck profile, I was running a small resonator package, which I had in which I had nothing but synchros, which is absolutely insane. There's a thing as well on top of the card that said it asks the question, what does the Wicked Cannon's path of anger, anguish, doubt, hatred, and sadness finally lead to? With three periods in it, and it ends up being colorless, which is kind of funny. But still, this card's actually not too bad. I know that there were some Yu-Gi tubers out there, like I know that MBT guys like MBT, I think House of Champs, if I remember right, they were all just like talking down about this card, but I know exactly what to do with this card. I know what to do. I know. Next up, the last new card that I will be talking about in today's video is a card that was from the 5Ds era, and it's known as Combat Wheel. If you guys do not remember, if you guys do not know, I believe this is the final unprinted synchro from 5Ds. I think everything else has been printed. Blood Memphis has been printed. Infernity Doom Dragon's been printed. Red Dragon Archfiend's been printed. Basically, all the Signer Dragons have been printed. Goyo Guardian's been printed. I believe this is the last one, and this was used by what's his name? Kaz? Was it Kaz? No, Kaz is the cop. Is from Sector Security. What was the guy? I cannot think of the guy's name. Yeah, I cannot think of his name. Yeah, I can't think of his name. I know that it had something to do with Officer Kaz. Let me take a look really quickly. Give me 1 second. Give me one second, you guys. I'm actually on the official Yu-Gi-Oh fandom website. I'm gonna try and see. Uh, 5Ds. Here we are. Go to characters. Let's see here. Sid Barlow. Sid Barlow was the guy's name. Took me a second. Sid Barlow was the guy's name that ran. I believe was the guy that ran this card Combat Wheel. Took me a second, guys. I apologize, but it was indeed Sid Barlow. Anyway, Combat Wheel. Anyway, as I was saying, Combat Wheel, 6-star Earth Machine Synchro, 2,500 attack, 1,200 defense, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners, so pretty generic. And it's got 3 separate effects. The first effect reads, the first time this card would be destroyed by an opponent's card effect each turn, it is not. So it's basically protected. It's basically a protection from pretty much any and all like card effects that would destroy Combat Wheel, which is pretty cool. Sorry guys, again the trash people are out today. Okay, I think we're good for now. Anyway, second effect reads, once per opponent's battle phase as a quick effect, you can discard one card. This card gains attack equal to half the total attack of all other face-up monsters you currently control. Then place a counter on this card, and your opponent's monsters cannot target monsters for attacks. Cannot target monsters for attacks this turn except this one. And the third effect reads, if this card with the counter is destroyed by battle, destroy all monsters you control. I mean, to be fair, this is basically number 96 Dark Mist, but in the form of a synchro monster. And I'm gonna be honest, that's actually not bad. There might be some decks in the meta that can actually abuse this card. So it may end up getting banned at some point, which will be interesting to say the very least. But now we gotta talk about the first batch of reprints that will be in the set, including a brand new alternate art of Junk Warrior, in which what you guys are about to see is kind of okay. So, yeah, do I like the artwork of Junk Warrior? I mean, it's okay. It's okay, but nothing compares to the original. Nothing compares to the original. But as far as the rest of the reprints, we have Doppel Warrior, we've got Jet Synchron, Satellite Synchron, Desynchro, and Synchro Chase. Those are the first batch of reprints that will be in the set. But honestly, guys, looking at the new batch, at the first new batch of cards, I'm gonna be honest. It's not that I'm disappointed. It's more so the fact that I'm actually kind of curious, because as I mentioned with the two new dinos, there's no way that those cards could be implemented in a dino deck, especially in today's meta, only because of the fact that for one you would literally need to run polymerization, and there aren't a whole lot of decks in the meta that run poly, because of the fact that there are so many different like fusion cards out there in the meta that are more best suited for the current game state, if you will. Poly is more of like a collector's card, if you will. So it's a bit of a toss-up, if you will. Now colorless, on the other hand, it's a good card, but it would take a lot of setup to be able to summon this card. And as far as Combat Wheel, again, I'm pretty sure the card can easily be abused. It can easily be abused, and it would end up getting banned at some point, in my personal opinion. But that brings me to the question of the day, which is this: what are your guys' thoughts? Actually, you know what? Let me rephrase my question. What other cards do you guys want to see get printed in this Animation Chronicle 2023 booster set? Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more new card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below. as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.